If you're a rail trail user, it is an exciting time to be in Michigan. Michigan's rail trail system, more than 1,300 miles and 20 years in the making, is entering a new phase. Plans are now being developed to link these individual trails together. This interlinked network will mean anyone can experience most areas of the state from the rail trails. Not familiar with rail trails?
The idea of a rail trail you can think about as a brownfield turned into a greenfield. What we have are places that industry abandoned because they no longer serve their purpose, and today they're tremendous because they allow people to again enjoy the outdoors in a safe environment in a family-friendly place.
A rail trail is often an abandoned corridor that the railroad no longer needs and is possibly open for public purchase to allow for public transportation.
Sometimes there are other opportunities to create a similar sort of trail width or design in areas that were not originally railroads, but when we do connections of these facilities, we sometimes look at those other alternatives.
We have 1,319 miles of rail trail, but when you consider the extensions with all of the existing trails and parks and along roads and utility corridors and drainage easements, all the connectors there are, we have well over 2,000 miles connecting every region of the state.
So they can look out and see farms, communities, waterways. They can interact with nature, listen to the birds, see the wildlife, meet new people on a regular basis who are doing things like they're doing. Walking, running, hiking, jogging, bicycling, inline skating, and they're a great place to get together. So we've taken what was a loss and turned it into a gain.
And the more that we get them connected, the more uses there are. And the more people get out on them and the more places there are to hop on a trail, the more people that actually use them.
Well, of course, we didn't have trails in the beginning. We had two railroads that intersected in downtown Reed City, and when those trails were removed, we had some people in town who were very interested in the concept of rails to trails, and they were instrumental in kind of awakening the state to that opportunity. And when the rails to trails, the state acquired the right-of-way, we were one of the first locations that obtained funds to pave part of the trail. We called it the Crossroads Trail. We're trying to develop the area downtown where the two trails intersect as our crossroads, and that's what we're promoting. Somebody comes to Reed City, they can go any four directions, north, south, east, and west out of here and come back.
Well, the Kent County Parks has been doing trails now for nearly 20 years. And Kent Trails, where we're standing right now, is actually a combination of abandoned rail corridor that was purchased, utility corridor, and about 2 miles of easement. So we originally were linking 3 county parks, and now we have a 4th one, which is Millennium Park. I think originally we just started out thinking it would be something different recreationally for the community without really understanding how it would be embraced by the community. And at this point, Kent Trails and the other trails and system in Kent County has just been fully embraced by the community.
Yeah, the Paint Creek Trail's been around since the 80s, and it's a great trail. I mean, number one of the heaviest used trails in the whole state of Michigan. It's unique because, yeah, you deal with 4 different communities and different governments in it, and with the Trailways Commission is a intergovernment agreement that manages the trail. So that's unique. So local parks directors like myself have to work with the Trailways Commission in maintaining their section of the trail. So that's kind of unique, but it's a great opportunity to have a recreational facility that people can access so easily from their backyard.
Man, I use this trail every day. I can do 30 miles without really running into any traffic. A couple times it took us across some streets. It's nice and shady, and we run about 10 miles 3 times a week, and I bike 30 miles a day. I love it.
People want parks and recreation in their neighborhoods and their backyards, and a trail provides that.
In Traverse City, we have the Tart Trail system, which is a a system of 4 different trails: the Leelanau Trail, the Tart Trail, the Vasa Pathway, and then the newly formed Boardman Lake Trail. It's a system of about 55 miles of pathways that are used both for recreation and transportation in the Traverse City general area. I think one of the things that is unique that we found out is that the way the Tart Trail is integrated into the community, a lot of people use the Tart Trail for regular trips, sort of transportation trips, to go from their home to business, or from their home to shopping, and from their home to other people's homes to visits. Quite a few of the trips were found to not be just fitness and recreation, but also transportation. Actually, one thing that we've done is we've connected, there used to be a fairly dangerous section of state highway that connected the Leelanau Trail and the Tart Trail that sort of links some of the suburban areas into downtown Traverse City. That trail link, I think, has really allowed a lot more people that live out in that area, for example, to bike downtown Traverse City, keep their car at home, not only get exercise, but get into town.
Trails are one of those outstanding threads that link us to many parts of our world. They can link us to our neighbors' businesses, to neighboring communities, to the environment, to activities, to physical health, literally to getting in shape.
Well, I like the exercise. It's more than just riding. When I ride on the street, I don't get as much of a workout as far as my whole body workout. So when I'm on the trails, I get to work my arms, my legs, and everything. Also, it's more interesting in the trail than just the streets.
It's great exercise. You know, a lot of times you have to go to the gyms, and you know, it's packed and a lot of people are out there. You don't get to do everything that you want to do because everybody's scrambling to get to the gym after work. So you come out to the trails and it's just you and nature, so you get good exercise out here by yourself.
Fresh air, exercise, it's a great trail, it's smooth, not many cars. I've been coming out for a couple years. It's wonderful. It's invigorating and relaxing at the same time, and it's peaceful, and you don't have to dodge cars and stops. And I do laps between Rockford and Belmont, and some days 1 up to 3 at a time. So 20 miles, 24 miles.
Well, I come out year-round, even in the wintertime, but I usually run a fall marathon once a year, and this is a great trail for training because it goes, you know, from Lake Orion to Rochester, and you can get in, you know, 9 miles or so each way.
I ride from 30 to 50 miles, sometimes more. Well, the best part of it, they spray and there's no mosquitoes, there's no dogs, no cars. It's just real tranquil. Get on your bicycle and ride it. Definitely ride it. See, like back here, there's a lady with a couple little kids, you know, and they're safe out here. And then you see older people, you see young ladies and men. It's just great.
Everybody knows that the more active you are, the better it is for your health and for losing weight and keeping your blood pressures down and keeping you from having heart attacks and strokes. Just getting better conditioned and losing weight decreases your likelihood of having arthritis and all those great things. Rails to Trails is great because you can go, especially from here in Reed City, north, south, east, or west. You can go to every city around.